Pugh and Andrew Garfield. Hello. Congratulations on the film. So I'm a chef, like I told you guys before. I use a lot of dates in my cooking. I've set up a little date for us here, and I also brought you guys some dates. In my opinion, the best actual dates from my favorite farm in California.
No way! I thought you were saying, did they actually do dates? And I was like, yeah, they did date, but this is actual dates.
Actual dates, my favorite kind. And I also brought some. I don't know where your blood sugar is at right now, but this is for us to snack on right now. They're like really beautiful dates. And the ones that will never let you down. Dots. You guys can get my pun. You don't need it, okay.
I got it.
It just wasn't that good.
I
agree. It wasn't that.
No, is that I agree.
Can I try one? No, they're for you to eat.
I'm gonna chill for a minute.
Okay, you can chill for a minute.
I'll let you know.
But I also have questions for you guys, but I set them up kind of like a menu. So we have some appetizer questions, a little light, a little snackish. Then we've got entree.
You feel secure.
Good, I'm so glad to make you feel secure. Right? Aren't they so good? Entree questions. Yes. Get a little deep into the movie, like get into it, and then don't be sorry. And then dessert, a little light and sweet to end the day. And then it will be your favorite date of the day. I know you've had many today.
You're threatening us.
I mean, I'm threatening with the dates. Okay, so I just want to start by saying congratulations on the film. It was beautiful and just so real and raw, and your performances were unlike anything that I've seen. I want to start with your first appetizer question, which is, when you're on set and you're working, do you have a must-have that you're walking onto set you cannot do a day without?
I can't start my day without a Yorkshire Gold cup of tea with oat milk. Genuine. It's white. I make a big mug of it.
Yeah.
I sit in hair and makeup. I have my sides. I go through my sides in hair and makeup, finish my tea, and then after my tea, everything's nearly woken up. I'm ready to go.
Just plain? Not a little cookie or something with it, or just...
I'm not a big eater in the morning, because usually it's probably like a 5 a.m. pickup or something crazy.
Early.
So I just need my tea, and my tea makes me really happy.
Not dissimilar. Every morning is a granola, kefir, raspberry, blueberry thing. Health guy. 41, baby, shit changes. And then oat milk latte with some honey, and then headphones. I need music for my day, throughout the day, especially in the morning when if it's like a hard scene or a scene where I need to be focused and I love chatting in the morning, but sometimes I just feel too responsible to the scene, so I have to like put headphones in, and like even if I'm not listening to anything, it's just like an indicator to people that I'm just trying to get into a zone.
Sure.
Especially when it's so nice to be in hair and makeup.
Yeah, there was not many times where I didn't have my headphones in. We would chat a lot.
I know we did.
It was
I actually don't really remember you with headphones on and hair and makeup.
I think on this film I didn't really do it that often because we were catching up every morning, and that was part of
chit chat.
So actually, like a must-have for this film was morning chit chat with Flo Pugh.
Cute.
Yeah, that's the
truth. Cute.
Ruth.
So I'm gonna use that.
You got us a little bit of a little loopy part.
No, this is good. This is why I brought you.
I'm leveling out.
Good for blood sugar. Okay, so Florence, you play a chef in the movie, and in the film, your character is asked to participate in a competition. So I'm curious, are you guys competitive at all about anything? And if so, what about?
I am. I own myself. I love anything competitive.
You don't like losing.
I'm a good loser.
So
I don't like losing. I'm a very sportsman-like loser, but I don't like losing.
Okay.
That's true. There's a distinction.
Sure.
I love winning.
I mean, same. I'm literally like, this is gonna be your best date. I can't lose on
I
this one.
appreciated that.
Thank you.
I really appreciated that.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
The moment I feel like someone's taking it a bit too seriously, I'm kind of like, have it.
Have a minute.
Have it. I don't. It doesn't mean so much to me to win, and even sometimes I'll then like I won't. I wonder what that is. It must be to do with like, if I don't try and fail, then it doesn't feel as bad. So then I'm like, it's alright. I don't need to win. I'll actually just kind of be casual with my ideas.
Like a self-protection thing.
Yeah, like it's okay. I can win.
No, it sucks to lose.
On the food front, is there a memorable dish that you've had recently that comes to mind?
Ooh, I had a birthday recently with some friends at a favourite restaurant in London called Sabor.
Oh.
Have you been to Sabor? It's an amazing chef, female chef who also does barafina. And it's beautiful Spanish food. And so there was a suckling pig that we had, which was kind of incredible. It was a birthday, so we went a little bit all out. But it was that was a special one.
Nice.
Yeah, birthday meals are really special.
Nice.
I had a really great meal. I went to Turkey recently,
Beautiful.
and we had just a really lovely like flatbread with this really thin mince meat. It was kind of like a Turkish. I can't remember the name, but it was like a Turkish pizza or something.
Yes.
It was really, really thin,
Sure.
and it was so fucking delicious.
Are you guys ready for your entrees?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the amuse bouche is
Okay,
really
just
something.
let me
Are
ask.
dates even bigger than that?
If you like really dig in there, you'll find everybody like that. Andrew, you've said often that you really need to feel called to do a project. So I'm interested for both of you, what was it that really stuck out to you about this script when you read it for the first time? And Florence, I know the timing too like worked out perfectly so that you could join when that wasn't initially the case.
Yeah, this was really interesting. I really wasn't looking to work. I was taking some time just to relax and rest and be a human being and become a cobbler. I don't know. I was just doing private.
Cobbler?
No, really.
Never made
Such
the
a plot
shoes.
No, I know. They're not good enough to be seen yet. I know. I've just been doing I was doing my own thing and just being quiet and private and reconnecting with my. I think it's so tempting for us to just kind of we love working so much, but and like we're such a privilege to do what we do. But I think sometimes we have to. Our bodies. My body definitely tells me like you gotta relax for a second. And I was processing a lot of my own loss, my mother and life and everything, just like lots of things. And I was like, unless I feel really called to do something, if it feels really right. Because usually when I go and see a play that I'm not in, and it's great, and the actors are doing incredible work on stage, I'm like, let me in, coach, like, get me in there. But that left my body for a while. So I have no desire to do anything but support these incredible people doing their work. You guys are doing great, I'm just going to eat my candy. But then I read this script and I said, I'm feeling all of this anyway. Like, I'm processing all of the things that this script has in it. Maybe this could just be a part of my break. Like, this is like part of so there's a real, I never approach work like that. Usually I approach it with a much more I don't know, trepidation, fear, intensity, like trying to get big preparation. This felt like, I've been in the preparation for years. This feels like I'm just going to flow into this, and it really was that, because it's all the themes that I'm dealing with in my own life anyway. Love, loss, how to live, what matters, what doesn't, how to be courageous in our lives, how to go for what we want, how to risk failure, rejection, being deemed unlovable, whatever, abandonment, all of that stuff. And losing the thing that we love the most. But how do we fully enter life and in an uncompromising and courageous way, and still accept that we're going to lose everything we love? That's part of the setup. How do we process that? How do we incorporate that as human beings? That's part of the process. So it felt like a very smooth entryway into the story that way.
Me
time now.
Me time to explain my head.
Me time to explain my head and heart now. Okay, my time now.
Me time to think. Me time to think and make things come out of my mouth. Okay, me time. Genuinely, I wasn't.
Me time again.
Timing wasn't going to be a thing. I mean, okay.
Me time all the way. Time again. Start again.
Right. So start again. This wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to do the movie. I don't think I even really knew about the movie because my dates were just. I was supposed to go to. Let me finish my sentence. Sorry. Because me time thoughts aren't as clear as your time thoughts. And I was supposed to go to Atlanta and shoot a movie that was going to be going for 5 months, and then for some strange reason it got pushed. It wasn't ready, and within pretty much the same day, I would say, I had this script come into my inbox, and I had 2 months now available. And originally I thought, okay, well that's good, I'll just have some time off and I'll have some me time. And then the script came into my inbox, and I read it in I literally by that evening, and I replied saying, yes, we've got to do this, let's go, jump in now. And it was kind of this wonderful realization of how this really was going to matter to me, and how I knew I needed to do it, and I knew I was going to do it, and I couldn't believe that not only was the script in my inbox, but that it was an offer, and that he was already on it, and it was like, do you want to go and make a really important movie and work with people that you've always wanted to work with? It's right there, and you can start shooting in half a month. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really, really mad, and it kind of did feel like that like sliding doors of possibilities of life, and in that time, within like half an afternoon, I now was very much aware that I was going to grow as an actor hugely from coming out the end of this experience, and also that I got to do a movie that I think I'd been kind of wanting to do for a while. I really wanted to do a movie about love and life and two people being in love, and it ticked every single box that I didn't think I was going to be able to do for a long while. And I did. I grew as a human. I grew as an actor. I had the most insane experience with Andrew that I really did feel every day. My brain was just expanding, and my heart was expanding, and my abilities were stretching. And I was working in a way that I'd never worked in before, and we really, really were connecting and growing together as this, pretend couple on screen, but also in us trying to be there for each other. It was really quite the most magical experience. So all of the things that drew me to the project they all happened pretty quickly, and here we are a year and a half later talking about this magical thing that happened, and it still feels insane that those doors slid for me.
Meant to be.
Yeah.
Especially the timing of it too. Like you have exactly 2 months. I know you guys shot it in 8 weeks. That's just insane.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, it's so important, the themes, all of these things of loss and grief and love and heartbreak. And you portrayed them so beautifully and in such a raw and human way. Things people are really going through, which is why it's resonating with so many people already. I'm just so curious, as actors, did you feel like it was challenging to not bring those characters home with you? Is there a way that you were able to step back into Florence and Andrew, or was that, something that stayed with you?
It felt like I wanted to stay
Yeah.
with the feeling. It didn't feel indulgent. It didn't feel dangerous. It felt honestly healing to stay in the scenes or in the moments that we were shooting day in, day out. Because as you say, they were universally human, and it's a privilege to step into these little moments and pockets of these characters' lives that so reflect all of our own, and really explore them and do it consciously and do it again, do it again, do it again. Like, okay, so what's going to happen this time? How am I going to deal with the news this time? How is she going to deal with my news this time? Like, so fun and joyful. So it didn't feel like acting. It didn't feel like work. It felt like we were coming to play and explore and just create a beautiful story together every day. There didn't feel like any pressure. It felt like we were just given this privilege, and I think what Florence had kind of mentioned before, like the trust that I had, and therefore the excitement that I had every morning to wake up at 5:30 and come and see her in the makeup chair and be like, I get to go and play with my fucking friend tomorrow, and we get to do it in such a way, as she said earlier, where I get to support her and help her stretch to where she wants to stretch to, and she gets to take me to places that I get to stretch to. Like, damn, like, blessed, fortunate, demure, mindful,
I also think when you're doing something like this and you are with someone who is wanting to push things as far as you, there's a huge responsibility that you have with each other. And in terms of like hanging up your acting coat before you go home, I think we're still pulling on things from our lives and pulling on
our own
ways
feelings.
our own feelings, and there's nothing about that we did want to suddenly shake off at the end of the day. If anything, it meant that we actually wanted to stay on set and make sure that we honoured the feelings that we felt in those scenes and had a hug and make sure that we had closed that really respectfully and beautifully, so that we didn't have any kind of like pause.
Sure.
It did feel like we needed to respect how far we were going with one another, and making sure that the other person is okay to move on from that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, there's so much emotional closeness and intimacy and vulnerability in the film, and you portrayed that so beautifully. Was there a way that you were able to create that safe space for each other? Because as actors, you're really going there, and you're going there together, and it's tough when one person isn't and one person is, right?
Yeah.
So,
or if there's like competition, or if there's like women, it's like who's gonna win the scene, or any of that bullshit. Like, yeah, I think it's honestly just lucky that we both wanted to work in the same way, and that's just our inclination. Like, I know that I can only be as good as she lets me be, and she can only be as good as we either encourage each other and inspire each other, or I've definitely been with collaborators that will kind of try to, out of feeling threatened or feeling scared or feeling like whatever, competitive or whatever it is, like this is my move, whatever it is, like none of that was present. It just felt like it's like kind of like what you want in a great relationship anyway, whether it's with a family member, a friend, or a partner. It's like, it's not about the individuals, it's about the third thing that gets created. And it's like the relationship becomes this third thing. And like even after our Toronto premiere, I said this to Florence, like I was seeing people after the premiere, and she was elsewhere doing her own like seeing of people, and every compliment I received about the film or about the work, I was like, no, but only half of us are here. Like it felt like we should have been sewn together as like conjoined twins that night, because it was like, oh no, because it's like it's one performance actually in a lot of ways. I know it's not literally. I know that we both have our individual lives.
But we only created it because the other person was that the places that we went.
Yeah. So
sorry, I'm joining in.
No, totally.
Not
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I completely understand why you felt that way. Like,
it's a beautiful feeling.
The idea of doing that birthing scene, for example, without him in that room, like, I mean, that wouldn't have happened. It's not. It goes hand in hand.
Right.
So much of the performance is about them and how they light each other up and they hold space for one another. So, yeah. It does feel like a complete collaboration performance.
Sure. Okay, let's move on to dessert quickly.
Okay.
Before I'm out of time.
Last question.
Okay, great. Very quick, rapid fire.
We're not very good at this, but
it'll
be better. Okay, Jaffa cake or Terry's orange chocolate?
Terry's orange chocolate.
Ooh,
Okay.
right now I'm more Jaffa cake mode. I like both, but Jaffa cake right now.
Favorite snack, just one.
Dark chocolate from Hugh, vanilla crunch.
Yum.
Carrot and hummus.
Favorite preparation of eggs?
It depends on the place and depends on the context. I had my favorite scrambled eggs recently with like a farm-made churned butter fresh in a place in England called Heckfield Place.
Yeah.
What do you got, eggs?
Rapid fire, I'd say if I'm just doing it for myself and I just want a good quality that's going to fill me up, I like a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah.
And you're a chef, like actually. Like,
well, I'm not actually a chef.
But in my eyes, you are a chef because you're incredible.
But I do like cooking. But yeah, I love a hard-boiled egg.
Wow.
I even love a Pret hard-boiled egg. Like, they have boiled eggs with spinach.
The cups.
It's great.
Okay, last one. Sweet or savory?
Oh, it's swavery.
Yeah, I like a bit of both. Like you go to like a mild Dutch and you like the pancake place on King's Road, and it's like I want the savoury one with the cheese and the chicken and the bacon, but then I want the sugar, the granulated sugar and the jelly, and I want
And then you start back over again, so it's just a cycle.
The next day it's my old Dutch, me and my old Dutch.
Thank you guys so much for your time and your energy.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying. Thank you.
Really
Enjoy
special
them.
day.
At the screening on Sunday at the Regal Theater, the big.
My big long one, biggest regret not bringing tissues. I did think about it.
Did you have a cry?
I had a cry.
Where did you cry? At what points?
I would say I was welling pretty consistently, like a consistent well.